He hadn't developed his lungs yet. His skin wasn't ready. I mean, he was kind of see-through. He was 2 pounds and 12 ounces. I've never seen anything like it.
Your second kid, Will, 2011, I think you're early in your third trimester. You wake Mike up in the middle of the night, and if you don't mind, take the story from there.
Yeah, I mean, it was right here at this house. The first 26 weeks of the pregnancy was, well, we thought anyway, was normal. I just remember having to go to the bathroom, which, are not unusual when you're pregnant. And I lay down and I'm like, I gotta go again. I mean, that's weird. And so I turned on the light and it was like my white sheets were like just red. And so I freaked out and I, ran to Mike, and he was running around like a chicken with no head, I'm like, calm down, we need to have a plan, what are we gonna do? I mean, we were out of the door in 5 minutes, and, Mike kept asking me, how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel him? Because we knew it was a boy. I said, I don't feel anything, just drive. And he had the pedal, all the way.
I thought we lost our son. Simple as that.
Why?
Because of the way she bled and everything. I figured it can't be anything good.
He dropped me off at the emergency. I mean, it's 2 a.m, so it's a little quiet. And I remember running in and I said, I need help. And they're like, calm down, lady, calm down, lady. And I said, I'm not calming down. I'm not filling any forms, just calm down. And then they told me that, my placenta had broke.
And I've went online and read, and there's not much good that comes out of that. I mean, it's a lot of brain damage, and if they're not out soon, the longer they're in there, the more chance bad things happen.
Eventually, once my forms were filled, they were cool. But and then he came out 16 hours later. I mean, this little man, he was just ready to come. And at the time, we didn't really have a name for him, but they said that there was a heartbeat there and he seemed okay. And I think mine was probably beating faster than his. He hadn't developed his lungs yet. His skin wasn't ready. I mean, he was kind of see-through. And it was just, the size of him, he was so small. I mean, he was 2 pounds and 12 ounces. I've never seen anything like it.
When you're in the NICU for 57 days and listening to some of the stories from other families that ended up being less fortunate, what are you thinking?
I mean, literally thanking God every day. I prayed a lot during that time, and we were just blessed.
I remember just, on occasion say, why is this happening? Obviously, everything was put on hold, everything. We would take turns to go and see him, but we learned so much about, just him and all the different things to look out for.
Each day we'd go in and ask what happened during the night, and they would say he stopped breathing 38 times and his heart stopped and all these things. And it was just education by fire with all these numbers and beeping and noises, and it was just very trying.
And then eventually we started the kangaroo care, which is when you wrap him up, your baby, and you literally hold them skin to skin, and you sit there for an hour and a half and just really bond.
How well do you remember that first time?
Well, first it was just, you feel like, I'm gonna hurt him, he's gonna break, and you're just so sensitive. I remember waking up in the middle of the night just hearing beeps on my own, because that's all I heard. I mean, it was beeping for this, beeping for that, but eventually we got to know each other, and he was very, very cuddly. It was an extraordinary time in that sense. I mean, it was just like I've never experienced anything like it. But we were on a mission, and once he got past a few of the the critical moments or the hurdles, we saw the light in the tunnel, and and then eventually it was time for us to take him home, and I think it was 5 pounds at that time, which is just small. Every night, you're literally staring at him in the crib every second, just, is he breathing, is he breathing? So it was stressful for that sense.
I really think I had a nervous breakdown. It was in the middle of all this, maybe 2 weeks after Will was born, and I woke up. It was just, like I said, weird, surreal times, and I woke up and my both feet were turned like this, cramped, and they were going numb, and I was like, what in the world? I had to get bit by a spider or something. My mind was obviously playing tricks on me because I was fine, and I'll never forget a dear doctor friend who has since passed. He said, Mike, you need to pull your pants down and take a slide on the ice. Chill out. And he was right. And so from that point on, I try to chill out.
Explain why he's not named Nicholas Alexander.
Yeah, so, every parent probably has names lined up. And then when this happened, I remember laying there in this bed and I looked at Mike. I said, we need to name him Will.
When we knew that it was touch and go and he may not make it, we knew that he needed the will to live. So we made it William Nicholas.
How did that, who brought that up?
I think it was Annika's idea, and we'll call him Will. He needed the willpower, and he has it.